You got home today, my friend, door closed behind you, and for the first time all day, you just stopped. Not because something happened, just because there's nothing there. And the terrifying part, my friend, isn't the emptiness. The terrifying part is that you are not even scared of it anymore. You have stopped expecting to feel something. Anything. I know that feeling, my friend, from the inside, not from a book. There is a moment in Islamic history, my friend, not Taif, not Badr, a quieter moment that almost nobody talks about. And it describes exactly what you are going through. By the end of this video, my friend, you are going to understand what this emptiness actually is. And it's not what you think about yourself, my friend. Let me describe your life from the outside, my friend. You have that job, it's fine. Not your dream, yes, but it pays the bills. You have a place to live, food in the fridge, and maybe a car. You are not in a crisis. Nobody looking at your life would say, that man needs help. From outside, everything is okay. And you pray. Sometimes Jum'ah when you can make it. You are not out there doing the big things, not openly falling apart. You know right from wrong. You haven't rejected Islam yet. You've just gone quiet inside. You get promotion at work and you wait for the feeling that's supposed to come with it. It doesn't come. You hear the adhan on your phone. That sound that used to do something to you. Still nothing. You finish a good day and you sit there waiting for some version of peace or satisfaction to show up. Still nothing. And here is where it gets actually frightening. It's that you feel nothing, and you've stopped being worried about it. The guilt used to show up at least, that little signal that said, hey, something's off. Even that is gone now, my friend. You are not in pain, and even you are not in peace. You are just running. I want to give this a name, my friend, because it has one. This isn't depression, though it can sit right next to it. This isn't a faith crisis, God forbid. You haven't lost your beliefs yet. Psychologists call it emotional numbness. The slow, quiet shutdown of a system that has been running on empty for too long. Think of it like a phone that stops sending you low battery warnings. Not because the battery is full, because the warning system itself, my friend, ran out of power. Your inside didn't switch off because something broke, my friend. It switched off because it's been trying to survive on the wrong fuel for a long enough that stopped asking. Now here's what nobody tells you about this. Where it actually comes from, and this is the part that changed everything. I want to take you to a moment in the Prophet's life, peace be upon him, that almost nobody talks about. Not Taif, we know that story. Not Badr even, not the hardship of the early years in Mecca. Something quieter, and in some ways, my friend, more frightening than all of them. It's called the Fitra, the pause in revelation. You have to understand what revelation meant to him, peace be upon him. It wasn't just information arriving, it was a connection. It was the direct line. It was the thing that made everything make sense. The mission, the pain, the rejection from his own people, all of it was bearable because the connection was there between him and Allah. And then it stopped. Completely, my friend. No angel, no word, no sign, just silence. And his enemies noticed. There is narration, my friend, recorded in Bukhari and Muslim, that during the silence, a woman from Quraysh mocked him openly. The words used against him were, your companion has abandoned you. Meaning, whatever was coming to you, wherever you thought was real, it's gone now. And he had no answer, my friend, because the silence was real. Weeks passed, my friends, some narrations say longer, and here is that part I need you to sit with. He, peace be upon him, was not in open crisis during that time. He wasn't sinning, he wasn't abandoning the mission, he wasn't doing anything visibly wrong. He was just in a silence he couldn't explain. A man chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala carrying a mission for all of humanity. And from the inside, nothing. No signal, no confirmation, no feeling that the connection was still there, just the gap and the waiting, and the not knowing how long this would last. Sound familiar, my friend? And then into that exact silence, my friend, something came down. Not a command to do more, not a list of things to fix, not here is why the silence happened, now get back to work. Surah al-duha came. The first thing Allah said to him before anything else was a recognition. ما ودعك ربك وما قلى. Your Lord was not abandoned you, nor has he become displeased with you. That was it. That was the opening, not correction, not instruction. Just, I see you. I'm still here. The silence was not rejection. Allah addressed the exact fear before the Prophet, peace be upon him, even named it. The fear underneath the silence wasn't, what do I do next? It was, did I lose the connection forever? And the answer that came back was not a roadmap, my friend. It was a presence. Your Lord has not abandoned you. Past tense, reassurance. Future tense, promise. And an entire surah built on the idea that what feels like absence is not evidence of abandonment. But look at what Allah said after that, because the next part of this surah, one line, is the part that I think will completely change how we understand what you are feeling right now. And nobody reads it in this way. Allah didn't say here is how to fix it. He didn't say do more, pray more, try harder. He just asked it a question. وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. Did he not find you wandering and guided you? The word wandering in the Arabic is ضَالًّا, and I need you to understand what that word actually means here, because most people hear it and assume it means sinful, lost in a moral sense. It doesn't. Scholars of tafsir like Ibn Kathir, al-Tabari and al-Qurtubi, they are consistent on this. ضَالًّا here means not yet knowing the way, moving without direction, not corrupt, just without a guide yet. Wandering is not the same as broken. And Allah is saying, I found you in that state once before, not sinning, not rejecting, just moving without knowing where you were going. And I guided you then. Hearing the adhan and getting no response from inside, you've been reading that as an evidence. Evidence that something in you is permanently damaged. That you've drifted too far, that whatever connection was supposed to be there, you broke it somehow. But what if the emptiness inside you is not evidence of damage? What if it's the evidence of something else entirely? Here's what I mean. Every human being is born with something called al-Fitra, the natural state, the factory setting, the part of you that was wired to God before the world got to you. There is a hadith, my friend, recorded in both Bukhari and Muslim, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, every child is born on the Fitra. The Fitra doesn't have an off switch. It cannot be destroyed, it cannot be permanently silenced, but it can be buried. Distraction, achievement, approval, comfort, things that promise to fill the space. And the Fitra keeps sending up signals. This isn't it. This isn't what you are built for. And for a while, the signals feel like guilt, like restlessness, like a low hum of something wrong. But when you ignore signals long enough, it stops sending. Not because it gave up, because it went into protection mode. The numbness you are feeling right now, that hollow, flat, nothing there feeling, that's not your Fitra dying. That's your Fitra refusing to die. The ache itself is the proof, my friend. A man with no connection left doesn't feel the absence. He doesn't notice the silence. He is not sitting in his apartment wondering, why nothing lands? You are, which means something inside you still listening. So the question is not what's wrong with me. That question is the wrong door. The question is, what have I been trying to fill this with? And why none of this work? And that's a shift, my friend, from diagnosis to direction, from am I broken to what I'm actually hungry for. And when you ask it that way, everything changes. So let me tell you what you actually know now. You came into this video thinking something inside you was broken, that the silence meant damage, that the nothing meant gone. It doesn't. The empty you have been living in, that not a verdict on who you are. It's a signal from the part of you that was built for something real, telling you that what you've been feeding, it's not working. The Fitra doesn't break. It just gets buried. And you've been feeling the pressure of it, trying to breathe. That hollow ache you sit with at the end of the day, my friend, that's not absence of connection. That's proof the connection is still there. A man with nothing left inside doesn't notice the silence. He doesn't sit in his apartment waiting for something to land. He doesn't feel the gap between who he is and who he was made to be. You do, which means you are not far as you think. But here's what I have to be honest with you about, my friend. Understanding this doesn't fix it. Knowing the name of the numbness doesn't make the numbness leave. Knowing the Fitra is still there doesn't tell you how to reach it. And that's the part we haven't talked about yet. guilt. Not the guilt that shows up after a bad day and leaves by the morning, the kind that outlived whatever caused it, the kind that stayed after you stopped the thing you felt guilty about, the kind that got louder, not quieter, when you tried to come back. The kind that sits at the door of every good intention and says, you are not ready yet. You haven't suffered enough. You haven't earned the right to feel good yet. That guilt, and I want you to hear this carefully, that guilt might actually be more dangerous than whatever caused it. And it has a name, my friend, a very specific psychological name even. And there's a story in Islamic history that describes exactly what it does to a man and what it takes to walk out from under it. That's the next video, my friend. Not because I want to keep you watching, but because you just did something real tonight. You sat with uncomfortable truth about yourself without leaving, and that's a good thing. That's nothing. That's the Fitra move in you. Don't let it stop here. The next video is already there. Click on it.